EASIT, Easy Access for Social Inclusion Training.
This is Unit 3B, Easy to Understand and Audio Description. Element 2, Linguistic Aspects. Video lecture, Creating Intertextual Relations, an example. My name is Piero Cavallo. I have prepared this video lecture in collaboration with Rosio Bernabé Caro on behalf of the Internationale Hochschule SDI München in Germany. In this video lecture, we are going to give a quick overview on what intertextuality is and how to solve lexical barriers that might arise from the use of specialized terminology in a broadcasted news, with a practical example. The focus is on how a standard text and an easy-to-understand text can interact to avoid assuming that readers share the same lexical repertoire in the easy-to-understand text. First of all, what is intertextuality? Intertextuality is the characteristic of a text to have relations with other texts. Every text has intertextual relations with other texts. These relations can be implicit or explicit. These relations can refer to other texts in the form of citations, or they can be implicit or explicit reference to the specificities of the text itself that range from the terminology used to the structure of the text and the sentences. For instance, if a regular reader reads an article about medicine, it is highly probable that the text will have some medical-related words in it. This means that the reader expects to find this type of terminology. Likewise, if an experienced reader reads a newspaper, it is immediately clear to him or her that he or she is reading a newspaper, because the structure of the text and sentences is unique to that type of text. An experienced reader could deduce this information from the context or fill the information that is missing either before, during, or after he or she has read the text. For other users, this task might be difficult. In fact, texts that presuppose knowledge from other texts can be complex for the readers to process. This is why, if the information is relevant to understand the text, it should be added directly to the text. This is also true for audiovisual contents that are texts. Every audiovisual content has its own specificities, like texts do. For instance, a comedy film is different than a newscast in terms of terminology and structure. If you want to learn more about intertextuality, you can consider watching the video lecture on this topic from Unit 2, Element 4. Since we cannot presuppose that users of easy-to-understand language have previous knowledge on a text subject, it can be helpful to provide short explanations in order to clarify this previous knowledge. This information can be conveyed through different ways. It can be provided as a written or an audio introduction that users can read or listen to before watching the actual content. It can also be provided as a so-called extended audio description, as defined by the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines 2.2. An extended audio description is an enlarged audio description that is provided in a video by pausing it, so that there is enough time to convey additional description of what is happening on screen. This technique has already been used in legal texts by Bhatia, 1983, who labels it as easification. The core idea is to maintain the original text unchanged while providing so-called easification devices that help information intake. In extended audio descriptions, the easification devices are explanatory information. But what if a user needs both the support of easy-to-understand language along with audio description and audio subtitles for audiovisual contents in a foreign language? In this case, extended audio subtitles can be provided. What are extended audio subtitles? Audio subtitles, as you may know, help people who are unable or have difficulties reading a text, but who instead require the text to be read out. The extended feature is taken from the concept of extended audio descriptions. That is, when the audio description of an audiovisual content needs to be paused in case of longer descriptions. Following this idea, extended audio subtitles can be used both to read out the subtitles and to provide additional contextual and intertextual information. This additional information is necessary for the target groups to understand the content. We are aware that this is a new hybrid service that has not been realized or studied yet. In this video lecture, we just want to provide an example. We also hope to obtain feedback from reception studies soon to share with you. In our example, we show a short video which length was originally of 1 minute from the Slovenian broadcast RTV Slovenia. The news item is about how things have changed in hospitals for pregnant women who are about to give birth during the current COVID-19 pandemic. As you could expect, the news item presupposes some knowledge related to topics like hospitals, COVID-19 and pregnancy. In our sample, we provide easy-to-understand audio subtitles in English. This means that the subtitles will be read out. Furthermore, the video will be paused to provide additional information as it occurs in the case of extended audio descriptions. The subtitles are also provided in written form and are burnt in the video just for the purpose of this video lecture. The subtitles are the same provided in the video lecture from Unit 3A, Element 2. They have been simplified following the guidelines of Inclusion Europe and the conventions and style of journalistic texts. Finally, we decided to provide two versions of the same example. One of them has a slower speech rate. This slower version might be more suitable for a certain segment of users and support the readability. In fact, the number of characters per second, in short CPS, in the slower version does not exceed the maximum of 15 CPS per subtitle event, as recommended in the subtitling for the deaf and hard of hearing people. In this way, users that can read the subtitles can do that more easily. Similarly, users that access the content through the audio mode only can also benefit from a slower speech rate. To maintain the maximum of 15 CPS, also in the written subtitles of the standard version, we decided to leave the subtitles for a longer time on screen while keeping the audio subtitles at a standard speech rate and respecting synchrony. Of course, the additional information provided, the speech rate, and the degree of simplification can be adapted according to the end user's needs. What should extended audio subtitles convey? The recommendations for extended audio descriptions and subtitles from Inclusion Europe remember the importance to explain the subject clearly and also explain any difficult word. So, apart from the easy-to-understand audio subtitles themselves, extended audio subtitles could convey a summary that introduces the general and specific content to the viewer. For the sample we are using, it can specify that the viewer is about to watch a short video from a broadcast in another language with easy to understand audio subtitles in English. It can also specify what the video is about, that is, the current situation in hospitals for pregnant women during the COVID-19 pandemic. Similarly, terminology on an expert subject like this one can be explained. In our example, COVID-19, or simply COVID, as it is usually referred to, can be explained as a disease or an illness. All this additional information is conveyed by pausing the video, as in the case of extended audio descriptions. Now let's watch the sample with extended audio subtitles at a standard speech rate.
This news item is about pregnant women with COVID and how hospitals are ready to help them. This news item has English easy to understand audio subtitles. There are difficult words in this video. We will stop the video to explain them and to describe the speaker and the environment. The video starts with the person who reads the news. He is in his 50s. He wears a suit. And he is standing in front of a computer. There is a picture of a pregnant woman on the background. She looks out of the window. She is wearing a mask. And her hand rests gently on her baby belly.
We visit a maternity hospital.
A maternity hospital is a hospital for pregnant women.
Some pregnant women have COVID. They are a risk group.
A risk group is a group of people that can become very ill from a disease like COVID. Pregnant women are a risk group for COVID.
Until now, women gave birth without problems. Their babies did not have COVID. Hospitals are ready. There are separated rooms. And the staff wears protection. Things are different now.
Now the images show persons working at the hospital and the protection they wear.
The staff uses masks, gloves and gel, shields and goggles. So everybody is safe at birth.
A newborn baby is sleeping at the hospital. The mother is standing just beside him.
9 women with COVID already gave birth.
Then, a man appears on the screen. He works in the hospital, in Slovenia. He wears doctor's clothes and a mask.
Altogether, we are helping 60 pregnant women with COVID.
Finally, the images show people working at the hospital.
Mothers must also wear a mask, but not at birth. Fathers with a mask can be at the birth too.
Now let's watch the sample with the same extended audio subtitles at a slower speech rate.
This news item is about pregnant women with COVID and how hospitals are ready to help them. This news item has English easy to understand audio subtitles. There are difficult words in this video. We will stop the video to explain them and to describe the speaker and the environment. The video starts with the person who reads the news. He is in his 50s. He wears a suit. And he is standing in front of a computer. There is a picture of a pregnant woman on the background. She looks out of the window. She is wearing a mask, and her hand rests gently on her baby belly.
We visit a maternity hospital.
A maternity hospital is a hospital for pregnant women.
Some pregnant women have COVID. They are a risk group.
A risk group is a group of people that can become very ill from a disease like COVID. Pregnant women are a risk group for COVID.
Until now, women gave birth without problems. Their babies did not have COVID. Hospitals are ready. There are separated rooms. And the staff wears protection. Things are different now.
Now the images show persons working at the hospital and the protection they wear.
The staff uses masks, gloves and gel, shields and goggles, so everybody is safe at birth.
A newborn baby is sleeping at the hospital. The mother is standing just beside him.
9 women with COVID already gave birth.
Then, a man appears on the screen. He works in the hospital in Slovenia. He wears doctor's clothes and a mask.
Altogether, we are helping 60 pregnant women with COVID.
Finally, the images show people working at the hospital.
Mothers must also wear a mask, but not at birth. Fathers with a mask can be at the birth too.
In this video lecture, we have seen that intertextuality is the characteristic of texts to refer to other texts, explicitly and implicitly. These relations can refer to the text itself and to the text type. Easy to understand users might find it difficult to notice these relations, and because of that, these relations need to be made explicit and more easily noticeable, which might include making presupposed knowledge explicit. One way to make intertextuality more clear can be the use of extended audio subtitles. These can be used to help people who require audio subtitles and also additional information to explain the context, the environment, and also difficult words or expressions. Different speech rates and degrees of simplification can be offered to be more suitable to the needs of end users. This video lecture has been prepared by Piero Cavallo and Rocío Bernabé Caro from the Internationale Hochschule SDI München in Germany. You can reach Rocío Bernabé at rocio.bernabé@sdi-münchen.de.
The project EASIT has received funding from the European Commission under the Erasmus Plus Strategic Partnerships for Higher Education Programme, Grant Agreement 2018-1 ES01 KA203 05275. The European Commission's support for the production of this publication does not constitute an endorsement of the contents, which reflect the views only of the authors, and the Commission cannot be held responsible for any use which may be made of the information contained therein. This work is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution, Share Alike 4.0 International License. Partners of the EASIT project: Universitat Autónoma de Barcelona, Università degli Studi di Trieste, Universidade de Vigo, Stiftung Universität Hildesheim, SDI München, Dyslexie Verbundet, Radio Televizija Slovenija, Zavod RISA. EASIT, Easy Access for Social Inclusion Training.